What's up, Wizards? It's Dev. SBMTG. We like it. Magic. How do I do stuff like that? Today, we got a pretty special one because we're going to crack into this bad boy right here. I was trying to make that look as awesome as possible. I hope it worked. But anyway, in case you don't know, and statistically, if you watch my channel, you don't because this is older than you. This is a price guide for MTG from 1996, which is, again, like a pretty long ways back there. So in case you wanted to know what some prices on some cards were before you were even born, or maybe you're an old man like I am and you just want to kind of reminisce and remember what you could have gotten some of these cards for and just have another reason to regret your life decisions. So let's have some fun today, I guess. That was a fun intro. I nailed it that time. But let's crack into this thing and see what we can find. All right, so now that we're doing this and we're in this shot, you may notice that the magazine is open. I had to open it because at one point I thought I was going to have to do all this one-handed and just like hold the camera. But that turned out to be like super shaky, so I have decided to, after some finagling, to film the video like this and hope it works out. If I have to zoom in here and there, I think I'll probably just do that. But hopefully everything goes well here. So we've got this thing open, and I want to go ahead and look at what cards we got in here, because we already know about this oversized Chaos Orb, which is just so dope. That's so cool. This is a piece of Magic history. Seeing these oversized Chaos Orbs was actually not very uncommon back in the day, but it is worth some value in the marketplace now, but obviously not as much as an actual Chaos Orb. But it's really cool to have, and I'll probably put it in the set from here on out. This will be a cool one to have behind me. But yeah, Chaos, that's like probably one of the coolest things in the whole video is a giant Chaos Orb. I'm happy to have that. But we also got a card that is apparently from the Highlander game. It's called Inquest. But yeah, that's Highlander right there. It's pretty amazing that actually had a game. There's also a thing here from Spellfire. And if you don't remember Spellfire, or you weren't alive for it, this is a Dungeons and Dragons based sort of card game from back in the day. And that didn't actually last long, but neither did Battle Lords, for that matter. This is apparently a card from Battle Lords, and I've never even heard of this TCG, and I've been playing them for quite a bit. But this is from Lord of the Rings, and the Lord of the Rings game was actually like really popular for a good long time. We got the Iron Crown. I don't know if you can actually read that. If you can't read that, we might have some problems once we get into the magazine, but we'll figure it out. And then finally, our last free card. This is from the short-lived NFL TCG Red game. Or Red Zone? That's what it was called. Yeah, well, I could just look at the back of the card. It literally says it right there, Red Zone. But actually, this game is kind of cool, and I don't know who J.B. Brown is. I have not heard of this particular player. It would have been awesome if we'd have gotten a star quarterback or something. But still, this game was like actually kind of fun. Sports CCGs are kind of fun to play some of the time. Like, I don't know if y'all remember or were alive for it, but WWF, but yeah, back when they were WWF and not WWE, wrestling had a card game back in the day, and it was actually like really fun and well thought out. Like, you'd play small moves and build points until you get to enough points to do your finisher. It was a pretty good game. But in any case, I guess we'll actually get into this magazine, and hopefully it'll work out. So let's open a page. Yeah, you can sort of see that, but I want to go ahead and get to the price guide here because that is what I'm most focused on. Oh, Magic is dethroned? Interesting. Okay. Magic is dethroned is the trend, is the number one like headline right before the price guide. Top 5 selling games, Star Wars. Can I zoom in enough to where you can see that? Yeah, look at that. Top 5 selling games, Star Wars. Very, very briefly, I'm sure. But number 2 is Magic the Gathering, and then Star Trek, Middle Earth, and Highlander. Huh, neat. It was actually a high-selling card game back in the day. Huh. I would not have been able to tell you that. I knew Highlander had a game, but I didn't know it was... This is probably just how little CCG sold in 1996. But, I mean, was the Pokemon CCG out yet? I guess not, because that would definitely dethrone Magic as well sometime in the future. And then probably Yu-Gi-Oh! At some point, too. But, all right, here is the price guide, everybody. Yeah, there's no way you can read that, so I'll be zooming in here as we go. But the first thing we want to look for is Alpha Black Lotus. Very, very obviously, that's the first thing we want to look for. Oh yeah, that's a pretty good price. All right, let's try and zoom in on it here. Focus. All right, sorry for the cut there. I had to bring the camera down a little bit just to make sure that you could actually see some of these prices. But obviously, like I said, we're looking for Black Lotus first. And Black Lotus is right here between Black Knight and Black Vice at $225 on the low end, $325 on the high. And just think about that. just think about that. For a hot second, man. $250, $300 or so for a Black Lotus. And now they can pay whole semester of college tuition at a nice place. Or they can buy you a car nowadays. So that's pretty good. But I think next we need to look for Moxen, which, just like Lotus, have not gone down in price. You see all these blue lines here? That means that they have gone down in price since last month, where apparently Magic was taking a hit around this time, but not the flagship cards like Moxes and Power 9, Black Lotus and whatnot. Because you see all the Moxes here. Moxen are all $140, which is interesting because now there is a price difference in the Moxen, but not back then. $140 to $200 a pop for each one, and honestly, I would put those on a credit card right now at that price. It's not an advisable thing to do, but it's something I'd love to do. What is this? What is this top 10 hottest cards? Number 10, Shivan Dragon. That's how far back in the past we are, ladies and gentlemen. He's magenta, mean, and muy macho. Man, you think that my writing is bad. He's the mighty Shivan Dragon and is a 5/5 flyer pumpable with 1 red for a temporary +1/+0. You'd better find a way to defend against him fast or your ass is grass, and he's the big red lawnmower. I didn't expect the curse word in there, but hey, it's in an Inquest magazine from 1996, so why should my YouTube self in 2020 have to censor that word? But again, that's how far we are back to that Shivan Dragon, everybody. Number 10 hottest card. But let's look at some dual lands here. Yeah, Badlands, Bayou, all that. Badlands is right here. Right there. Badlands is a whole $20 to $30. That's insane. That's much less than a fetch land nowadays. It's like Shocklands got up to $20 at one point. It's crazy. It's so crazy. What about Bayou? Here's Bayou, $20 to $30. Are they all just $20 to $30? That's kind of crazy. All right, so let's flip the page here. And you may have noticed the cut. That's because I had to work some things around after I flipped the page the first time because it just didn't end up working out. But let's flip over to Beta Edition and check out what these prices are. Notice all the blue here, like all the cards that are falling in Beta Edition is kind of a lot. But let's look for Black Lotus. It's right there, top of the page. 175 to 225, which is like a huge loss in value from Alpha. It lost a third of its value on the high end from Alpha, and that's kind of crazy when you think about it. I don't know if there's a 30% differentiation in the price anymore between Alpha and Beta Edition Black Lotuses. I don't think so. But yeah, I mean, less than $200 on the low end for a Lotus, that's a freaking steal. What are the Moxes at? Moxes are at $120 for every single one. Again, there's no differentiation in price between all of the different Moxes. Yeah, there they are. You can see them now. Sorry about that. But yeah, $120. Really, it's probably going to be closer to $140, $150, $150. Let me be very specific for all these Moxes in 1996. But if you could go back and make that investment, you would do that right now. If you just put it on a credit card and then time travel into the future and buy yourself a house, I think you probably could actually do that in this case. But let's get on to the next in the top 10 hottest cards, which is a card from Homelands. It's Primal Order. What does this even do? I've forgotten. Oh, during each player's upkeep, Order deals 1 damage to that player for each non-basic that they control. So that's actually that's pretty good. Especially back then. A lot of people played duels, but there weren't as many non-basics in 1996. People's entire mana bases weren't made up of non-basics, but I guess it's still pretty decent. What is their entry for it? Getting trounced by players who can afford fancy cards like dual lands, then you'd better do 2 things. 1, become a better player. Unironically, get good. And 2, slap down pricey card crushers like Primal Order, stinging some rich kid for a point every non-basic land. Stinging some rich kid. Little class consciousness there. Understanding the struggle, comrade. Comrade Inquest. That's cool. I like that. You're punching down. There's nothing wrong with that. Eat the rich. That's fine. let's move over to Unlimited Edition here. Let me pull it over slightly. And we'll check out what a Black Lotus and Unlimited is. 160 to 180. That is nuts. That's like no money in terms of what a Black Lotus should cost, man. 160, you probably get like a moderately played one for like $1.50 or something. That would be insane. Again, you just pay for a car. Like a Black Lotus could easily pay the down payment on a house. And 160 to 180 when this game was, not as important and no one in popular culture knew what it was. But, now that it's got a bit of a pedigree, turns out an Unlimited Edition Black Lotus will probably still buy you a medium nice car. So that's not bad at all. But what other cards do you want to even look at? Badlands. Here's a dual land. $12 to $20 for a Badlands. That's insane. that's less than like a Steam Vince. That's amazing. Amazing. People were doing broken stuff with Basalt Monolith back then too, but it's only $2 or $3. Berserk, $18 to $30. That's crazy. Let me fix the camera. There we go. $18 to $30. Birds of Paradise, $8 to $12. That's so insane. These are just crazy prices. Imagine getting an Unlimited Edition Birds for $8. God, kill me. That's pretty amazing. But now we got to see. Oh, look at these. Some of these prices are actually interesting. Like Fork over here. I don't know if you can read that, but Fork is $25 to $30. And Unlimited Edition Counterspell is a hot card. Even though it's $1.50 to $2.50, it's probably like the version everyone's buying. Or no, because Revised Edition Counterspell is hot as well. Huh, that's interesting. What other cards are hot? Royal Assassin. Y'all see that down there? Well, let me zoom back in. I apologize. But Royal Assassin down here is hot. Sarah Angel, Shivan Dragon, like they said, number 10 on the list. These are all hot boy cards. But what is their number 8 entry in the top 10 hottest cards? Lurgoyf. Of course, Lurgoyf. Odds are you can't spell him. He's a suspiciously Swedish-sounding Lurgoyf. What do you got to hit the Swedes for? What did they do? And he's a snap to get out at green too. Mix in his power and toughness equal to the number of creature cards in every graveyard, and you've got one of the manliest creatures in the game. So what we've learned is that according to Inquest in 1996, Lurgoyf is manly. Lurgoyf is manly. And Royal Assassin, Sarah Angel, and Shivan Dragon are very, very hot cards, ladies and gentlemen. This is peak 1996 if I've ever seen it. But let's go ahead, turn the page, and see what we got. Oh my God, Clone. Clone is in the hottest cards. Oh my God. What's your entry for Clone say? Like, man, we are so far back that we're at the point where people are like, dude, have you seen this card, Clone, dog? It's crazy. Oh wow, that's almost offensive. Number 7 Clone. Blue is a wuss boy color. It doesn't even say a wuss boy color. The article adjective is not included. It just says blue is wuss boy color. Sounds pretty caveman. Cowardly counters. Sissy control magics. Sissy control magic? Oh my God. And hey, I'll clone my Sarah again. Creatures make blue popular among the unimaginative. Hilarious. Want to play blue but show people you're tough? 4 words, the all Homerid deck. So Homerid jokes, ha ha ha, started by Inquest. People still tell them today because they think they're funny. And people still adore Homerids as a creature type, but that's not the line I'm most interested in. It's all of this like, sissy control magics, blue is wuss boy color. Like, yeah, that's just bad writing. Like, it reads like an episode of The Man Show with Jimmy Kimmel and Adam Carolla. From way back in the day, but I think that show was on around the same time that this issue came out, so it makes sense. I mean, it's not like, I'm not even trying to attack it from like a woke perspective, it's just bad writing. It's really bad writing, but, Clone, number 7, I bet it's a hot card. So Royal Assassin, Sarah Angel, Shivan Dragon, still hot cards in a revised edition apparently, but I kind of want to go on to some of the later sets, or at least later at the time of the printing of this magazine, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to read the number 6 hottest card entry. Man, this is going to be the funnest part of the whole video. I wonder how bad the writing can get. Deflection, which is a card that I freaking loved back in the day. If you haven't seen Deflection, it's just target spell, which must have a single target. Target's a new target of your choice. So just, Fling something back in there. There's a bunch of spells like this nowadays, but this blew our minds in 1996 when Ice Age came out. But what is your entry for deflection? What were we just saying about blue? Oh my god, more of this. Deflection here not only counters a spell looking to perform a rudeness on something near you and dear to your heart, but it redirects that troublemaker to some hapless target under your opponent's control. Cool. Annoying, but cool. Okay, so that's not like horrible. That wasn't terrible writing. Deflection is really cool, but if I remember correctly, Deflection was one of those cards that was hot for like a month, and then everyone realized like, oh, this doesn't do anything. This just sits in my hand like the entire game and does nothing. So I think people stopped playing Deflection, but I bet if we go to Ice Age, Deflection is actually like a relatively expensive card. I want to know now. I want to know. Deflection. Yeah, $10 or $15 for that garbage Magic card that we just looked at. $10 or $15. That's how insane people were. But what's in Legends? What is in Legends that we can look at here? Let's see. What's the guy? What's the guy? The guy. Like one of the most expensive commanders. Oh, Angus McKenzie. There he is. $10 to $15 for an Angus McKenzie, who is now like the actual most expensive commander. I forget his actual price tag, but it's very high up there because he's the most expensive commander. He's hundreds of dollars right now, but no one knew that back in the day because, you know, Commander wasn't a thing. So, hey, All Hallows Eve for $35 on the high end. I actually got an All Hallows Eve for $40. Damaged. It's a damaged copy of All Hallows Eve, but I've always wanted a copy of it. And I got a copy of it like 2 or 3 years ago, right after the channel started, for $40. So I actually feel like I didn't get too shafted, although this is high-end $35, so I did. All I have to do is go back. That's all I have to do. 24 years in the past. Pick up an All Hallows Eve. It's just one of my favorite cards, like, of all time. All Hallows Eve is so cool. The art, the flavor, it's dope. But what else? What else is over here in Legends? Firestorm Phoenix, $30. I don't know what that card actually is. Now, note, too, things like Gabriel Angelfire. This is, excuse me, right around the time Chronicles came out. As a matter of fact, yeah, Chronicles was already out. I just wanted to make sure here. But people were talking about how, like, you know, Chronicles tanks the price of everything, but Gabriel Angelfire is still $8, and, like, he was printed, wasn't he? I think he might have been. Yeah, I think he was printed in Chronicles. Still $8, and I don't think he was ever, like, really above $8. So, oh, here's Gauntlets of Chaos. It actually says Gauntlets instead of Gauntlets. That's a fun misprint, but Gauntlets of Chaos, $8. That's actually really, really good, like, really insanely good. Gravity Spear is $25, and that's actually one of the most expensive cards. What's the most expensive card in Legends? Mana Drain, $25 for a Mana Drain. Mirror Universe, $70. That is definitely, let me pull it over a little bit. Yeah, Mirror Universe, $70. Moat for $30? That's insane. Moat for $30 is so crazy. I would love that. I would buy a Moat for $30 right now today if it was that much. But Moat is like, I think, $130 at least. So there's that. But is Mirror Universe the most expensive card? $70? I'm just kind of double checking myself here. Sorry, I'm having fun. Half of the stuff you might not be able to see, and I apologize for that. Yeah, looks like Mirror Universe beats out everything at $70, and that's actually like way more expensive than anything else in the entire set. But Mirror Universe is like a ridiculously powerful card. But what is the number 5 hottest card? It's Icy, everybody. Boy, does the new art for Icy suck or what? I kind of like it. The art on the original Icy, hand holding an evil dark crystal ball against a midnight sky, kicked major butt. Regardless of the art, the Icy, which can tap any non-enchantment permanent, still kicks butt. Still kicks butt. I actually I like this Ice Age art. I always have liked this Ice Age art. And the original art's really, really cool too, but I've never, hated on the Ice Age, Icy Manipulator art. It looks good to me. But what is number 4 as we round the corner on 1996's hottest cards of whatever month this is? Autumn Willow. I actually just tweeted about this card the other day. Like, I said something like, was this like an unstoppable monster in anybody else's kitchen table meta? Apparently it was. Autumn Willow. What's the old entry for it? Just like that Mother Nature chick from those old margarine commercials. It's best not to screw with her. At a 4/4 that is immune to target spells and fast effects. Man, I miss the term fast effects. You give her a hard time, and she'll stitch her all-natural boot in your ass. Another instance. How many different A words do they get in every issue? And then have a nice day is the end of that. So that's very cute. But yeah, Autumn Willow, basically the first instance of Shroud, which would later become Hexproof. Sort of. Hexproof is just a Shroud that lets you target your own things, where a Shroud doesn't let you do that. But Autumn Willow, you can pay a green, and that allows you to target her with stuff, so you can put enchantments on her. So it's actually kind of a really, really good card way back in the day. But let's look at let's flip the page and look at Ice Age real quick and see what we can find here. Aside from the $10 to $15 deflection, I do want to find Jester's Cap, because Jester's Cap was the chase rare in this set for a good long time, and I'll never really understand it. Jester's Cap, $18 to $30. It's all the way down here at the bottom of the page there. And note that they are hot cards. Hot boy cards down there. 18 to 30 for a cap, and then $12 to $20 for a Jester's Mask, which was nowhere near as, played. But I guess it was. It was a hot card. So there's that. These are easily the most expensive cards in the set. But look at this. Look at this Icy Manipulator, the uncommon Icy Manipulator from Ice Age, 8 to 15. That's actually gone down considerably. I think you can get an Ice Age Icy Manipulator for 40 cents nowadays. So that's actually pretty decent. And then note that giant trapdoor spider up here has gone up in price since the last. So people brewing with giant trapdoor spider. That's pretty cool. But what is the number 3 hottest card? It's Dual Lands. How is that not the number 1 hottest thing? Honestly. These former top slot holders, have never slipped below 2 before. Must be that their hefty price tags have finally... Hefty price tags. That's hilarious. Have finally caught up with them. They're worth it, though. Able to tap for 2 different colors of mana without a side effect. These are some of the most powerful cards in Magic. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. That was straightforward. You wrote that without any dumb jokes, and I appreciate that. Let's move on to number 2 here, which is Jester's Cap. We were just talking about it. This is such a hot card, and it's bad. What it is hot garbage. This is a trash card that's really, really slow and doesn't actually do the things you want it to do, and your opponent still beats you after you play it and activate it. It's just not... It costs 6 mana to play it and activate it. It's crazy. Your opponent's already done the thing their deck is trying to do by the time you can actually activate this card. But anyway, Jester's Cap. The cap has been bumped out of the number 1 slot. Wahoo! It actually says wahoo. This card is so freaking evil, we couldn't be happier. With the ability to remove 3 cards from an opponent's library from the game before he even gets a chance to play, this card's no fun. So no, I did not miss the gendering of the opponent from an opponent's library before he even gets a chance to play. But again, I'm not going to attack it from a woke angle. This is just hilariously written. Again, I just made the point that 6 mana to tap it and activate it, so you're not going to get it before turn 5. Maybe you got some fast mana or whatever, and you can get this on turn 3, activate it turn 4 or something, but still, it's not if you play this off of a Black Lotus turn 1, then you probably wasted your turn, honestly. It goes and gets 3 important cards, but your opponent back then, the only combo deck was, Channel Fireball and Necropotence, so it's just you're not really going to kneecap your opponent that much with Jester's Cap, and it's super slow, and you wasted a turn doing it, and your opponent usually thanks you for it. It's not an evil card, I'm telling you. Jester's Cap, I've played with it against it a million times in my life. It's a bad card. I don't know how it was so hot forever, but there you go. It became an iconic card in Magic history. Now, one thing I'm interested in before we start wrapping it up here is what is the most expensive card in all of Highlands? Well, Chromium is or did I say Highlands? Holy crap. Chronicles. In all of Chronicles, Chromium is $8. That's actually pretty expensive. Dakin Blackblade, a card that I love. That's $8 as well, so that's not bad. $8 for an Arcady Sabbath. So just all the Elder Dragons are $8. Oh, Hell's Caretaker was $8? Hell's Caretaker was $8. I kind of find that a little bit hard to believe. But people did love Hell's Caretaker back in the day. Pretty much any card that was demonic people liked, which was hilarious. But people liked angel cards too, some of the most popular cards. Land's Edge was $6. Nicol Bolas, $8. I was thinking Bolas might actually be a little more expensive because Bolas has always had sort of a position as the most expensive or most popular Elder Dragon. But No, $8 is what everything tops out at. The Wretched. The Wretched is somehow $7. That's a little surprising because this is actually a fairly terrible Magic card. I'm actually thinking about doing like a top 10 Chronicles video. I like to do top 10 like Commander cards in old sets. I've been considering doing Weatherlight. I've been considering doing Homelands, and I've been considering doing Urza's Destiny. But I also kind of want to do Chronicles. Just let me know if you're still here, if anyone's still watching this. Just let me know which one you'd want to see the most. But anyway, as far as special offers, I want to point this out too. Let me go get the camera right. Okay, you see special offers down here. Arena, $10. Giant Badger, $10. Mana Crypt, $10. Nalafni Dragon, $10, which was only available at like a convention. Sewers of Estark, $10. Windseeker Centaur, $10. But no, Mana Crypt is $10. So, come on. But what is the number one card? It's Baron Sengir. Baron Sengir, what's the, how did you write this? The King of Sting, the Sultan of SWAT, the Master of Disaster. Ladies and gentlemen, the new Magic Heavyweight Champion of the world, Baron Sengir, a 5/5 flyer, gains a permanent 2/2 when he offs a creature and regenerates vampires. We'd take him over that annoying Jester's Cap any day, and so would I. This does cost 8 mana to play, Baron Sengir does. But it's actually gotten better over time, because now it's a vampire. It didn't used to be a vampire. It was just a legend, so it couldn't regenerate itself. But nowadays it can regenerate itself, so it's even better, but it's also 8 mana. And there are about 1 billion black creatures at 8 mana that are 100 times better than Baron Sengir. The only reason this card was popular, and still is in some cases to this day, is for flavor purposes, and because like they were already co-opting nostalgia 3 years after the first set came out. You know, oh, this card has Sengir. You guys remember Sengir Vampire? That was a good card, right? Still a good card. You can play Sengir Vampire. Well, here is a whole family of Sengir dudes and ladies as well. And here, this is the head of them. This is the Dracula of MTG right here. And that's why people liked it. It's the Dracula of MTG. And people still love Baron Sengir. It just got new art, I believe. Previewed the other day, and it's gorgeous. So Baron Sengir has really held a place in people's hearts forever, and that's the only reason he's number one. It wasn't like a super playable Magic card. It's really not. Even with like Dark Ritual and Black Lotus playable, it still wasn't a great Magic card. But you know, even back in the day when the card was brand new, I don't remember that many people trying to make Baron Sengir work. But just, you know, this is all about flavor. This is all about flavor and fan favoritism. And things like Baron Sengir, Jester's Cap definitely are cards like that. But that, I think, unless I want to go over the Middle Earth, you know. Oh, are these combos? Are these combos? Oh, wow, this is the April issue. See, April Fools? I didn't even realize that. I didn't even realize that this was the April issue. So that's... Okay, so these are non-bos. That's what I just had to like read over them for a second. These are just non-bos. Is all this is. Zurin Orb, Living Plane, and Earthlink. This combo down here. Set off a chain of events that'll make Mousetrap look like kid stuff. Clear the board of almost every permanent under your control. And then even more awful combos. But I'm pretty much done with these. These got old like a long time ago. Tatiana's Song, turn your own Mox Emerald into a 0/0. Hilarious. But that is Inquest magazine. Everybody. And actually, what's fun about this video, I hope that everything worked out. I really do. I hope that if I process it at a high enough bitrate, that you'll actually be able to see these prices, this printing. I really hope that I don't have to just like completely destroy this video and try something else. Because this was fun for me. Seeing some of the old prices, and of course, seeing how Inquest writes. I had forgotten that it was that bad. I really forgot that it was that catered to like what they think nerd culture was in the 90s, you know, because that's what this writing is. That's what this writing is. Hey, we're all dudes here, right? Come on, man. It actually said, blue is wuss boy color. That I want to put that on a t-shirt. Blue is wuss boy color. It looks like, that sounds like a YouTube comment. Anyway, like a Facebook post by your uncle, you know, blue is wuss boy color. Jeez, I'm just never going to get over that. Blue, I'm going to say it when I play against blue decks in gameplay from now on. Blue is wuss boy color. And only the people who, you know, the 5 people that watch this video will know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I think that's it for now because I've already babbled on for a good bit and, you know, in a video that's probably not salvageable. Honestly, I doubt that this actually works. Now I'm just kind of flipping through to see what they've got in here. I wonder if there's a Magic Deck Tech, because often there will be a Magic Deck Tech. So I'm just kind of looking before I finish the video, because if there is one, hey, an artist profile on Ed Beard Jr. And it looks like we're just into the news now. Lord of the Rings, top 10 best Middle-earth cards. Whoa, what is this? Oh, a gallery of fan-made expansion cards. Yeah, that's fine. Even though I do a video like that every now and again, and it's very popular. Up your sleeve, surprise strategies for underappreciated Magic cards, serrated arrows in this issue. I'm going to read that later. That's cool. Oh, best decks the best in tournament level Magic decks. Killer decks, everybody, by Jeff Haynes. Love me some Jeff Haynes. It's actually one of my favorite writers back in the day for Inquest. So what is this? Restricted Rampage. Wait a minute. Is this just only restricted cards? Is that fun? There's no real formula for building a killer deck where everything is restricted, but here's something that'll stand up to most regular Type 2 tourney decks. I decided to focus on doing lots of damage with creatures and spells and blowing up things with all-purpose destruction cards. Huh. It's a 3-color deck, tough to pull off. One-ofs everything. And you're saying this is like one of the best decks? One of the best decks. Alright, cool. Well, what have we got in here? A Dureller, a Will-o'-the-Wisp. Wow, already starting off amazingly. Ernom Jin is in this deck. Llanowar Elves and Findhorn Elves, so you get to play a 2-of Llanowar Elves. Why not just play a 4-of Llanowar Elves? I mean, why restrict yourself to this? This really beats stuff. This really does. Just one Shivan Dragon is in there. Man, this looks really like a terrible deck. This looks like a fairly terrible deck. Like you're playing Barbed Sextant, which is basically like a Chromatic Spear type card just for the mana, I'm sure. God, a Jester's Cap. There it is. Navimriel's Disc and a Jockle Hops to blow up the board twice. Just, jeez. But, well, it does get points for being Jund. I'll give it that. You're not even playing 4 of the lands that you need, like 4 Sulphurous Springs, 4 Couplisson Forest, 4 City of Brass. You're not doing that. Just 1 of each. Jeez, and he's carried over the 1-of Conceit to the sideboard. This is terrible. I can say with confidence, this is fairly terrible. Now I want to play it. I want to actually somehow play this deck. I'm making an MTGO account just for this. But, wow. Here's a non-killer deck called Electric Boogaloo, which is probably better, honestly. Is it just electric stuff? Yeah, it's just a red-blue deck that plays electricity stuff, and it is better. It is better. It's got to be better than the one-of-a-kind deck because it plays 4 lightning bolts, 4 chain lightnings, and 4 ball lightnings. This is a much better deck. The non-killer deck is way better than the killer deck. Okay, cool. I think that's a good note to end on. Man, wow, jeez. Oh, Inquest. Why would you do that to people? But like I said, I really want to play this deck, this one-ofs deck now. This dude was playing Commander way before it was cool. But yeah, I think that's probably a good place to stop because I'm probably like 3 hours into this video without realizing it. So yeah, let's cut it there. If you enjoyed this video, I don't understand how you possibly could have. But, you know, even if you didn't enjoy it, give me a like because it just helps me out like a lot. And you want to help your dude out. I'm a good dude. Help me out. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet because spoilers for Ikoria start like 2 days from when I'm recording this. They start on April 2nd, so you're going to want to see those, I imagine, probably. So if you want some spoiler action, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for the notifications too, because YouTube doesn't put me in as many recommended feeds anymore. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell to have the maximum chance of actually having my videos recommended to you. Aside from that, hit up the Patreon. $1 a month is all I ask. Support content like this in a way that actually lets me keep doing it because no other income source is actually a good one. So help me. Please help me on Patreon if you can. You see more dumb stuff like this or maybe no more dumb stuff like this if it did not work out in post the way I wanted it to. But anyway, hope it did because I had a whole lot of fun. I'll make it work. But anyway, that's all I got for this one. If you want another one like it, let me know, but I don't think so. At least we got this cool Chaos Orb out of the deal, right? Anyway, I'm done. So, thanks for watching, my wizards. I'm Dev from the Place. Spread love and be kind.